It is so nice to see them helping.
Phew! Oh, finally some rest. Why, I haven't spoken so much in forever.
I think I might have to turn this up a little bit.
Lively, isn't it? The town is abuzz. Everyone eager to meet with our friends from the moon.
'Twould behoove you to consult with Sleeping Way. As our moon's pilot, his advice should be most pertinent.
He is? Oh, gosh.
I'm impressed. Truth be told, I struggle to tell one from another. No offense intended, of course.
None taken. After you and your friends left Mare Elementorum, we spent no small amount of time with your Urianger. Oh, the conversations we had. He told us all about Atheris, answered our every question, no matter how trifling or trivial. Look! Every page filled to the margins with knowledge. When I first arrived, I was struck by how little I knew. It was daunting. But then I realized that were it not for Urianger and his teachings, we'd still be stuck on the moon, gazing at your world and wondering what we've been missing.
You could have always come down. This is so heartwarming.
What would they think if they could see Urianger now? I dare say they'd be more than a bit surprised. And impressed, no doubt. Master Louisoix, Minfilia, Papalimo, and not to forget.
Oh there. Heard there was a visiting expert who we might bother with a few questions. I take it you'd be the one.
Why did the music stop?
Yes, I am.
Wilson and Blovida, Sharlayan's foremost researchers in the field of teleportation magic, and Moonbreeder's parents.
Oh no.
It hath been some time. 'Tis good to see you in good health.
I have never heard Urianger like this.
Likewise, old friend. Blovida and I were most honored to answer the call. Never expected this reunion, though, did we, dear?
I'll say, the nerve. Sending that letter, then running off to the gods know where. Do you have any idea how worried we were?
Oh, Urianger.
I'm sorry. 'Twas remiss of me not to deliver the news in person. No, more than that. 'Twas I who...
Our daughter was disillusioned after Master Louisoix left her behind. The day the Scions called upon her was the happiest I'd seen her in years. She made her every choice of her own free will. No one could have ever forced her to do otherwise. Don't blame yourself for her death. Celebrate her life. You know that's what she'd want.
If there is one thing we resent you for, it was that we could not be there to mourn her with you. Reading the words you penned in that shaky hand, we must have cried as much for you as we did for her.
I'm sorry. I truly, truly am. I knew not what to say. Knew not how to express my feelings. The poems and platitudes of wiser men,
Oh, man.
musings on sadness and loss, studied and memorized, and meaningless in the moment.
Silly boy. We are all powerless before such grief. Even now, try as I might, the words escape me. But in our hearts, we know, we always know.
I remember when you were young, how the lads teased you for choosing the company of books over others. Our moon didn't take kindly to that. Be nice to Urianger, she'd shout, and give them a walloping, no matter how many times we scolded her.
So we offered a suggestion. Rather than starting fights, why don't you be the bridge between Urianger and the others? She had to mull it over for a while, arms crossed, brow furrowed in intense thought. But from that day on, she never let you be alone. She'd drag you outside to play, pepper you with endless questions, read the same books you read, all to try and understand you that much better. I'm sure it was annoying and exhausting at the time, but she only ever had the best of intentions.
And look at you now, at the center of the crowd. The reason there even is a crowd, having brought these people together. You've no idea how proud we are.
To see the boy, our daughter, trusted and believed in more than anyone, grow into the man she always knew he could be. I can see her in you too. Feel her. She walks with you wheresoever you go. So thank you, Urianger, for being who you are.
I think I can feel her too. The truth of her life. Not sorrow, but hope and love.
She was important to him, wasn't she?
You could ask the man himself.
Oh, no. But watching this exchange reminds me how much I've yet to learn about your world and its people.
You can live here your entire life and hardly learn a thing.
True.
And that's why it's too soon for this to end.
I'm trying to find something, hold on. I have never seen Urianger like that. Ever. Ever. Yeah. This expansion really likes skating it, doesn't it? Here. I have some thoughts. Give me a minute. I'm just gonna go park this character. What? What? I can go in here? What do you do? Oh, I can't pick you. I guess I have to wait. Alright, I have some thoughts. Alright, this is probably bigger than what I have time to say. It's probably bigger than what I have time to cook about. But I'll try to truncate it. This expansion is really trying to bring home in a louder way, in a more obvious way, than what I think the rest of the game is doing in a really quiet way. I mean, this game is always, like, for months and months and months, has brought to mind... Excuse me. It has brought to mind, you know, between the plot, what people say about what we do, I mean, and even the stuff we do on our own time, whether it's crafting or buying a house or playing music or whatever. Every moment of this game quietly is whispering to you constantly about how beautiful existing is, and how beautiful you spend your time can be, and how meaningful it is, and how your life, even in the most mundane moments, is a fantastic thing. Like, just the fact you exist. Not that you accomplished anything, not that you have anything, not that anybody even knows you. I've been picking up that vibe from this game since last summer. It wasn't a very loud idea, but it was constant. And it was like the quiet part that was never being said, or even being alluded to. But every so often, I would see like a finger pointing, and it would be in the script, or in like the seasonal events, or in what people said to you, or in what people expected of you, or whatever. On the surface, it would be exactly what you thought it was. I'm buying a house, I'm using the They have a glamour system, so I'm a glamour system. There's a house, so I want to get a house. There's whatever, so I'm gonna do that because they made it available. Yay, devs, But there's a whole package of philosophy that's wound up in it. And you can see it in certain events. All Saints Wake is one of them. Like when the devs all wrote everybody letters, and you get to read them. Yeah. The song Answers. The fact they play that during All Saints Wake. And in various points in this, I've said that this game is trying to tackle the meaning of life. So it seems like they are wrapping up, especially for Urianger, like right now is a great example. Urianger is always thinking about himself as a constant liability. Everybody knows that everything he offers is of the utmost quality, but he always sees himself as a liability, as a traitor, as somebody who is less than and is not capable because he must be worse morally and psychologically than anybody else around him. Urianger thinks that he is the scum of the earth. Urianger thinks he is a criminal. Urianger thinks he is a killer. Urianger thinks he is a coward. Urianger thinks all of these things about himself, and he never lets on that he feels that way. And I read this somewhere about Moonbraida's name, about what it means. And this isn't made up, like it's translated from whatever language they borrowed it from. I can't recall right now. It's like I can't recall a lot of stuff in the moment. But basically it means Moon Bride. And we all know how Moonbraida entered the story. She was making fun of him, whether or not she meant it, for the way that he had written the letter to her asking for her help. She would never leave him alone. And then in the end, he made her little minion. He didn't realize, or it never dawned on him, how much of a hold she really had on him. Every time she would squeeze him and pick him up, it was like the literal interpretation of how much of a hold that she had on his heart, not just on his body, And perhaps, just like the way he would respond, he would say, "Unhand me!" Maybe that's how it was before he lost her. And then he lost her. And then he realized whatever that meant to him was too much. So much that all he could think about was her, apparently. I've never seen Urianger be so vulnerable. Ever. Even during all the times when he was bullying himself, talking about himself in those ways. He would be mad at himself, but he would not crack. he cracked hard. When Moonbraida's mother called him a boy, it made me think about, how your friend's parents, are kind of like your second set of parents, for some people. And so I was thinking about what it must have been like for her to be a younger parent with a 10, 11, 12-year-old child who has a 10, 11, 12-year-old friend, and, being the person who gets to watch Urianger grow up by proxy. You get to see it from outside, because this is your kid's friend, And clearly, they liked him an awful lot. We don't know anything about Urianger's family, but she's the one that came to see him and referred to him as a boy. She still sees him as the person connected with her child. He's still a boy to them. A precious little boy. So when they say they're proud of him, they mean it. And whatever Urianger's actual parents were like, they were his second set of parents, whether or not he realized it. And, some people have the idea that maybe in another situation, they'd become a couple and get married and stuff. And if that could have ever been canon, because think about it, if that ever happened in another scenario, we're talking people who are close enough to him and care about him enough that they would be, like, excellent parents-in-law. Because they know him, they understand him, and all this stuff. So, if you can imagine that being the case, like, in another dimension, and, like, if by some weird circumstance, Urianger and Moonbraider decide they were gonna, like, get married or something, then, that would be a very happy, connected family. And then it's actually poetic how he got attached to the Loporrits and the moon, how he didn't want to leave the moon. And he really kind of, the Loporrits really grew on him and kind of brought out a little bit more of his quirkiness, and then remembering what Moonbraida's name means. It's as if going to the moon is him going to Moonbraida. But maybe that's stretching. Do any of these thoughts make sense? I'm drained again, but in a more healing way than when I was drained after watching the other cutscene. Here, let me go talk to Urianger.